Yo, what's up guys, and in today's video we're going to be saying if Darth Vader was actually stronger than Palpatine. In other words, we're going to be putting Darth Vader versus Darth Sidious, I mean. Now, of course, we're going to give Darth Vader the first attribute here, which is going to be strength. I think this is my direct order that I was doing before in my other videos. It might have been, it might have not been, but if it is, let's start off with strength either way. Now, Anakin was trained by Obi-Wan Kenobi, arguably one of the best Jedis of all time. Obviously, being able to kill Darth Maul makes him a really good Jedi, and not just the fact that he killed Darth Maul, but he killed him when he was a Padawan. Now, there is many different ways of Anakin. He is a good fighter, a sheer strong character. And obviously, to go into Darth Vader's history, we'll just start at the peak of his history, which at the peak of his history, he would have been Anakin Skywalker. Now, the question is how strong Anakin Skywalker was at this time when he was Anakin Skywalker. Well, Anakin was very strong, and of course, since he was obviously he had a path, and his destiny was to be the chosen one. Master Windu did not really like that because he didn't believe that he was the chosen one. Master Windu will always pick on him, of course, and just not think he was the right one because he was too stubborn and too unreliable to become the chosen one. But besides that, Master Windu was still a pretty nice guy to him when it came down to getting the job done, and if they were on a job, he would help him. At least that's what we've seen inside the animated series. Of course, inside a movie, it's not that much to go off on because the movie's only 2 hours long. When it comes to being the Revenge of Sith, Part 3, it's only about 2 hours long, so it's obviously not exactly going to have a big story on Master Windu, but you can tell Master Windu was not exactly the nicest guy to be around. But Anakin overall is very powerful. I don't think he's as powerful as Luke, at least not when he was at his full tier anyways. When he was about to turn Darth Vader, I don't even think he was still as powerful as Luke, even at his peak. Anakin is very strong. Do not get me wrong. He is very, very, very strong. He is strong enough to obliterate a tower with just the wind of his lightsaber if he ever wanted to shoot a lightsaber at it. Of course, that would take a pretty long time, but he definitely can do that, and he could probably lift up a tower with his force. Do not get me wrong, that is very strong. That's one of the strongest Jedi moves ever. Matter of fact, that it is the strongest Jedi move ever. Obviously, except for Luke Skywalker. Now, his fighting combat is arguably the best fighting combat in my opinion. I find his combat swift, nice, and slow and steady because he knows what he's doing. And if you watch Revenge of the Sith, Part 3, I believe it was, he was very, very chill when it came to the fighting combat. His fighting combat was really good, in my opinion, the best in all of the movies of Star Wars, all the way back to the 1970s. He had the best combat ever. It was swift, smooth, and fast. Now, that still doesn't mean he was better than Palpatine in combat, because when we end up seeing him versus Windu, we saw that Palpatine was still very strong, and he was able to even put Palpatine down on his knees. So, I mean, not Palpatine, Windu on his knees. So, there is a good chance that Anakin might be slightly better in combat than Palpatine. Of course, Palpatine has way more experience due to the fact that he was the Emperor, he would have been around the 70s or 60s. So as you can tell, there is a good chance that Anakin Skywalker is slightly better at fighting, but that does not mean he's more powerful. So I'm going to have to not give his power rank to him right now because we haven't went over to Palpatine. But he's still very powerful and is very strong. Of course, I believe he can master Force Lightning pretty easily if he, of course, wanted to learn it. But still, don't take anything away from Anakin. He's a very strong character inside Star Wars, and probably the second to Luke in Star Wars. Of course, being the chosen one, of course, being the folks chosen one too, that gives him his perks, and his perks makes him the strongest Jedi there is. Except that Palpatine is no motherfucking Jedi, alright? He is no Jedi. Palpatine is a Sith Lord that managed to kill a man that cheated death. Now, that right there is going to have to make us move on into our next category for our man Palpatine, strength with him now. Now, Palpatine is definitely the strongest son of a gun I've seen inside Star Wars. Star Wars, alright? He managed to get the full power of Force Lightning and is definitely strong enough to shoot a human being out of Earth. I'm not joking when I say that he is definitely that strong. Maybe even farther away. His combat style is very interesting. He's not swift. He's not good with the lightsaber. He's definitely very sloppy, but I can tell you this. He's a very, very fast. As you can tell right here, he's actually pushing Master Windu, and when he's pushing Master Windu, he ends up killing 2 Jedis in record time. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Got the other Jedi right there, killed him too. Now he's fighting Master Windu, which is arguably one of the best lightsaber wielders of all time. Now, ooh, dodges it. Alright. Now, as you can tell, Palpatine's a very fast lightsaber user, and due to the fact that he was combating right there with Master Windu would mean he's very, very fucking fast. And at his old age, he's still able to shoot himself across the room and probably shoot himself way more farther. And is at least in his 60s at this time, so he's a very old man doing this. And he has Mr. Windu on his knees right there. Now, right here, he could have easily killed him, but there just would have been no reason for that because if he would have killed him, he would have had the entire Jedi Council on him, and at that point, there's just no way he would survive it. Palpatine is strong, but not stronger than the entire Jedi Force. Now, here's my theory for this right here. Now, in strength, I think when it comes to combat and strength, Palpatine is slightly worse. And the reason why I say that is because yes, he did take out 2 Jedis in record time, which, by the way, they were 2 masters, by the way, too. So, yeah. But these 2 Jedis were unprepared and did not know what was going to happen. Alright? There is a good chance that even if he did, he would have killed them. But that doesn't really matter because he still killed them in record time. But it doesn't really take away from the fact that these people were not ready and they did not have their lightsabers pulled out by that time. And if they did, there would have been a good chance he would have blocked them. Now, I'm not saying that he wouldn't kill them because he definitely would have killed them in not record time, but he would have killed them in less than 3 minutes, which is not record time, but he would kill them pretty fast, even if they were prepared. But that still takes away from everything. His combat is alright. These 2 masters, though, they weren't as good as Master Windu or Yoda or any other master like Obi-Wan Kenobi, Qui-Gon Jinn. They were nearly not as strong as them when it came down to it. Now he managed to finesse Now he managed to finesse Master Windu to a point where he had him on his knees, but Master Windu was not going to go down that easy. So obviously he shot his lightsaber out of his hand, and thus causing his end, his flaw, his face burning off. Now as soon as this happened, this happened. He lost his entire face. His face got burned and turned into a smoking pile of dog shit. Now, this does not mean a second that Palpatine is weak. Palpatine, either it's a big theory for this going on, even to this day still. This is Palpatine's true face, due to the red eyes, of course, or this is just his face getting burnt off. I believe this is his true face, in my opinion. I believe this is his true face. I believe in some way he morphed it when he was younger. I believe he's always been human, but he morphed it when he was younger, and now he's wearing his old skin to hide this true form of him. But let's get off his category now, because we've been on it for about 9 minutes. I'm not trying to make the video 38 minutes. I'm trying to make it like at least 15 or 18 minutes, not 38 minutes. So yeah, and power, I'm gonna have to give that to my boy Palpatine. His Force Lightning is insane, and he can do anything he wishes to do, obviously with the power of destroying Earth, but that would take hell of a lot of stuff out of him. And he would have to be at his peak to destroy Earth. And I mean that at his peak. He will not have to be He has to be at his peak. He has to be stronger than Darth Vader at that point, which at this time we have not accused him of being stronger, and we have not accused Darth Vader of being weaker. Now I'm gonna do this one more thing and go back over to my boy Anakin. Now let's hit this back to physical strength. And the advantage goes to my boy Anakin, better known as Darth Vader. Now why does that go to my boy Anakin? Because my boy Anakin's suit. This man has showed us so many times that it does not matter that he is stronger. It does not matter that Palpatine is somewhat better when it comes to sheer power, when it comes to lightning. The Force does not matter at this point. Palpatine is much weaker, and that's all we got to talk about in physical strength. Anyways, hope you have a good day, and peace.